The Little Prince, A Tale of Innocence and Insight. Once upon a time, in the vast and arid expanse of the Sahara Desert, a pilot crash-landed his plane. Stranded and isolated, he began repairs, fighting against time, thirst, and his growing despair. As he worked tirelessly, a strange and unexpected thing happened. A boy, seemingly out of nowhere, appeared and spoke to him. "Please," the boy said, "draw me a sheep." This boy was the Little Prince. The pilot, startled and perplexed, found himself face to face with a peculiar child who didn't seem lost or distressed despite their desolate surroundings. His golden hair gleamed in the sunlight, and his manner was calm, as though he belonged to another world. Intrigued, the pilot complied with the request. The boy rejected several of his attempts, finding them unsatisfactory, until the pilot, frustrated, drew a simple box and said, "The sheep you want is inside." To the pilot's surprise, the Little Prince's face lit up with delight. "Yes! That's exactly how I wanted it." Thus began the pilot's days in the desert with the Little Prince, who recounted his extraordinary journey from a faraway planet to Earth. The Prince's Planet. The Little Prince lived on a tiny asteroid called B612, a world so small that he could watch sunsets simply by moving his chair a few steps. He cherished the sunsets and sometimes watched them dozens of times a day when he felt sad. His planet, though idyllic in some ways, required constant care. It was home to 3 small volcanoes, 1 extinct and 2 active, and invasive baobab trees whose roots threatened to overrun his world if not constantly uprooted. But the most special thing on his planet was a flower, a unique and beautiful rose who had appeared one day, growing from a seed blown by the wind. The rose was vain, delicate, and proud. She charmed the Little Prince with her beauty and fragility, but her arrogance and demanding nature confused and saddened him. She often complained about the conditions on his planet and made him feel as though he were not doing enough. Yet, despite her flaws, the prince loved her deeply. Eventually, overwhelmed by his feelings and unsure of how to handle the rose's contradictions, the Little Prince decided to leave his planet. He believed the rose didn't truly love him, though her final words, "I was wrong to let you leave, but you must go," haunted him. She had admitted, in her prideful way, that she cared for him deeply. Still, he set off, determined to explore the universe and find answers to his questions about life and love. Encounters among the stars. The Little Prince traveled from one asteroid to another, meeting curious inhabitants on each. These encounters formed a series of lessons about the absurdities of adulthood and the complexities of human nature. The King. On the first planet, he met a king who believed himself ruler of everything. The king was wise but deluded. He insisted that his authority extended over the stars and that they obeyed his every command. The Little Prince found it puzzling that the king claimed such power yet ruled over nothing but an empty planet. Despite his grandiosity, the king sought to make the Little Prince his subject, offering him hollow titles and responsibilities. The prince left, feeling unimpressed by the king's arrogance and his misunderstanding of true leadership. The Vain Man. The second planet was home to a vain man who craved admiration. He demanded that the Little Prince applaud him constantly, basking in the praise and adoration. Yet, the Little Prince realized the futility of such vanity. The man cared only for his own reflection in the eyes of others and offered nothing meaningful in return. The Drunkard. On the third planet, the little prince met a drunkard. This encounter deeply disturbed him. The drunkard explained that he drank to forget his shame, but his shame came from drinking. This paradox left the little prince bewildered and saddened, as he saw the cyclical trap the man had created for himself. The businessman. The fourth planet housed a businessman obsessed with numbers. He spent his days counting stars, claiming to own them because he counted them. The little prince found this absurd, for how could someone own something as vast and free as the stars? The businessman's obsession with ownership and wealth struck the prince as meaningless and disconnected from what truly mattered in life. The lamplighter. The fifth planet was home to a lamplighter, who dutifully lit and extinguished his lamp every minute because his planet rotated so quickly. The lamplighter's dedication impressed the little prince, as he worked tirelessly despite the futility of his task. Unlike the others, the lamplighter was not selfish, and the little prince admired his devotion. The geographer. The sixth planet was inhabited by a geographer, a scholar who cataloged the features of the universe but never left his desk to explore them. He relied on explorers like the little prince to bring him knowledge but dismissed the prince's rose as unworthy of record, calling it ephemeral. This struck the prince deeply, as it diminished the significance of the thing he cherished most. Arrival on Earth. The little prince's journey eventually brought him to Earth, a planet vastly different from any he had visited. It was here that he met the fox, a pivotal moment in his journey of self-discovery. The fox. The fox was a wild creature who asked the little prince to tame him. The prince, unfamiliar with the concept, asked what it meant. The fox explained that taming was about creating bonds. "To me, you will be unique in all the world," said the fox, "and to you, I shall be unique." Through this relationship, the little prince learned the profound truth that the things we love become special because of the time and care we invest in them. The fox's lesson about taming illuminated the prince's feelings for his rose. Though she was just one rose among millions, she was unique to him because of their bond. Before they parted, the fox gave the prince a secret: one sees clearly only with the heart. What is essential is invisible to the eye. This wisdom stayed with the little prince as he continued his journey. The Garden of Roses. The little prince later stumbled upon a garden filled with roses, identical to his own. This initially devastated him. He had believed his rose was one of a kind. But the fox's teachings helped him understand that it was his rose's connection to him that made her special. Meeting the pilot. Back in the desert, as the little prince recounted his adventures, the bond between him and the pilot deepened. The prince's innocence and wisdom awakened something in the pilot, a connection to the childlike wonder he had long buried under the responsibilities of adulthood. But the prince's time on Earth was drawing to a close. He had met a snake when he first arrived, a creature that promised to send him back to his planet. The prince revealed to the pilot that he missed his rose and needed to return, despite knowing the journey would require leaving his physical form behind. The pilot, heartbroken but understanding, watched as the prince met the snake. The snake's bite would release him from the earth, allowing him to reunite with his rose. "It's like a shell," the prince explained. "When you look at the stars, you'll know I'm there," laughing. Epilogue. The next morning, the little prince was gone. The pilot searched for his body but found no trace, leaving him to wonder whether the prince had truly returned to his planet. As he flew away from the desert, now repaired and ready to rejoin the world, the stars seemed brighter than before, as though echoing the prince's laughter. Years later, the pilot still wonders about the little prince, gazing at the stars and cherishing the lessons he learned. The little prince taught him about love, responsibility, and the enduring beauty of childlike wonder. The pilot shared his story in hopes that others, too, might rediscover what is essential. Themes and reflections. The Little Prince is a story layered with meaning. It critiques adult preoccupations with power, wealth, and vanity, contrasting them with the simplicity and purity of childhood. It reminds readers of the importance of relationships, the value of seeing with the heart, and the bittersweet nature of love and loss. Above all, it's a story about finding beauty in the ephemeral and cherishing the bonds that make life meaningful. Thank you so much for watching this story. If it touched your heart, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with someone who might need a little hope today. Remember, even the smallest acts of kindness can make a big difference in someone's life. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more inspiring stories like this one, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. We appreciate your support, and together, let's spread kindness and positivity to the world. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.